Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sally. And so today we'll set up so that we're at a wall, and we will start at the wall. So if you're at home and you haven't moved to the wall, you can quickly do that. And I set aside a bolster. You might need this, you might not. And you might want to even sit on it. And what we'll do is we will sit so that we're against the wall. You can sit whatever is comfortable for your legs. So if you're on a bolster, it might even be nicer to have your feet grounded and more stable. You might have your legs out, whatever you need. And if you would rather not sit on a bolster, you can sit on the floor. But we want to start to think about this beautiful intention of really lengthening our spine. So we want to connect our knit those bottom ribs in, so our low back kind of feels connected to the earth. And then just slightly tuck your chin so that, and the back of your neck is on the wall, and see if you can have your shoulders on the wall. Now, just having your shoulders and your chin tucked with your head on the wall is probably already kind of tiring. Breathe. Slow your breath down. And so notice what you feel. We want our low back so that there's no arching in it. It feels like a neutral position. Our shoulders are relaxed down our back but connected. And so most of us, especially in this day and age, our head is coming forward. And we have this rounding of our shoulders forward. And so these muscles that hold everything in line will get fatigued very quickly. Just breathe. And even notice what you feel. And so in order to have this really long, beautiful spine, this beautiful posture, we sometimes need to move our body in a way that it's unfamiliar with. Allow yourself to just soften into what is. If your legs are uncomfortable, just adjust them. If you're feeling like there's a lot of pressure, just planting your feet might be more supportive. And then we just breathe. And now you're all thinking, if this is where we're doing our extra 2 minutes of restorative, let's go back to starting on side. And sometimes we have these awarenesses in our body that like I said, most of us have this rounding to our shoulders, this forward head. And the more forward our head is on our body, the more pressure it puts. As soon as it's out of that alignment, our head is so heavy, it puts more and more pressure. And then it continually allows us to, and our body likes to do whatever's easiest, not always the best, but simplest. And so then it kind of creates this forward motion of our head more and more and more. So let's take about 5 to 8 really beautiful breaths. Slow it down, and then when your breath is complete, we'll add to this pose, but we'll first release, and most likely you'll want to come forward and wrap through your shoulders and release it. And you might even notice as you relax, your chin starts to lift. We want to keep that chin parallel to the earth. And you might be feeling this through the back of your shoulders. You might be feeling it mid-back. And then when your 5 to 8 breaths are complete, you'll most likely just lean forward and kind of shake out your shoulders. They're probably achy. They're not used to working so hard. But what's also really beautiful, as soon as we start to activate these muscles that don't get used as often, the ones that are working hard and gripping intense, let go. So we'll add a little fun flow. You're like, oh no. So we'll do that same thing, but listen to your body. So we want that same shoulders. Just slightly tuck your chin. You might even kind of feel it. We have this tendency to lift it. We want it so that we're lengthening through the back of our neck. And then take your hands alongside your body, and we want the back of our hands connected. You might need to bend your elbows. You might not have enough room where you are. And then slow, go slow, breathe. Notice if your ribs are starting to splay out, knit them in. We want to keep them connected. And slowly lift your arms as high as they go, keeping them connected. Everything connected to the wall. And then once you get to where is as high as you can go, take about a breath or two, and then we'll slowly travel them back down. So if you think about when you reach your arms overhead, how simple that is. Think about how powerful this is. And then after a breath or two, we'll slide them back down, keeping them connected. And then we're just going to move up and down. We're like little angels on the wall. Little snow angels. And just go with whatever speed feels good. Notice what starts to lift. Notice if your ribs are splayed out. And then notice these amazing sensations you're creating. You're like, I wasn't calling them amazing. However, think about these sensations. I'm pretty sure most of us are always thinking about our posture. We're building the strength our body needs to inhale. We'll just release it for a moment. Again, you're probably getting a little bit achy. Oh, but isn't that achiness amazing? And so once you might need to just relax your arms, you might need to come forward. It might be nice to plant your feet and kind of give yourself this little hug. And notice what you created and what you feel. And then breathe. Breathe into what you feel. We'll just do one more, and then we'll give this a rest. And so you might need to wiggle your shoulders. So we'll just hold this one. So we'll do that same movement. We'll connect our upper body to the wall. As soon as you do, you're already going to feel sensations. We've been here for a while. It's probably already achy. This time we're just going to lift them up, our arms up, and we're just going to hold them. Connected. Everything connected. But see if you can find this connection in a place of relaxation. So there's nothing gripping. You do feel sensations as you're creating strength, but softening your jaw, your neck. And take about 5 breaths here, and then we'll come off the wall. Take whatever we need. And eventually we'll go into a child's pose. Oh. So if you need movement first, if you want to support your child's pose, I believe everyone has a bolster. You can take that bolster under your body and just surrender into your child's pose and just breathe. And notice what you feel. Your time, connect with your breath. Add any movement your body desires. You might need to stretch out your legs. You might need to flow through some cat-cow. You might take a downward dog. You might just take a seat and straighten your legs out. We will use the wall again, but this one will be nicer. And so, again, you can choose to use a prop or not. It doesn't matter, but we will lie with our legs up the wall. So the simplest way is to go onto your side body, lay all the way onto your side body until you feel your bottom touch the wall, and then we'll sweep our legs up. Now, it might feel nice to have a bolster under your hips, and if it's a little too intense, walk away, push yourself away from the wall. If you want your hips right to the wall and you didn't make it, it's really hard to scooch closer. Just roll onto your side. Now, we just had that beautiful chant at the wall where we were sitting. So think about and so our upper body is in that same position we were at the wall. but now it's on the floor and gravity makes it feel really lovely. Now, at any time where legs are up the wall, if your feet feel funny, give them a little wiggle. And at any time, if you just feel uncomfortable, you're welcome to come down. But we'll add a couple different movements here. And so this is a really gentle stretch for our hamstrings. It's also a really gentle release through our low back. But if you're feeling pressure through your low back, have a bend to your knees, like always in a forward fold. And then notice what you feel as you are here, held and supported by the earth, by the wall. All you really need to do is just relax and breathe. And then we'll take our legs into tree. So we'll just bend one knee. As you bend one knee, that other leg might come out a little bit. And notice as soon as you bend one leg, what you feel. And so having just that one leg bent is generally not super intense on that leg, but it also is really honoring and it helps release if we had any pressure for a low back. Just might feel different And then feel your body just relax into the support, what's holding it. Can you let go of any sensations, any gripping? And we'll take about 2 to 8 breaths here on this side. And then when you're ready, we'll just straighten both of our legs. And you might give your feet a little shake. Usually all of the blood sits in our feet, so they might be feeling funny. Again, just wiggle them. If something doesn't feel right, come out. So we're just going to add a little bit of an opener through our inner thighs, and this one you can choose, and it's completely up to you. If you want a little bit more, you can keep your legs wide and let your feet fall open, or you can take butterfly legs. It doesn't matter. But notice what you feel. If there was any discomfort in that low back, again, having both of our knees bent is usually quite honoring. And then feel your entire back body connected to the earth. Your shoulders are relaxed. We're slightly tucking your chin so the back of our neck is long. Our ribs are knitted in so they're not flaring. And then we'll take about 2 to 8 breaths here. Your choice. When your breath is complete, you can just straighten your legs again. Notice what you're feeling, that releasing through those hip flexors. And then we'll get into our hips. So again, there's options. So you can cross one leg over the other. And maybe you keep your legs straight and just cross your ankles. You might bend that leg and take it across your opposite thigh. You might start to bend the the leg that's on the wall so that it goes. Find what honors your body. And then breathe. And again, observe how all of these movements feel with our back body held and supported by the earth. If you want a little bit more sensation, that leg that's in front that's bent, you can bend it more like a cow face and let it fall towards that opposite hip. Whatever you need. And then notice how lovely it is to be in this posture where we have this gentle opening. Our upper body is held and supported by the earth, but our legs are supported by the wall so that our arms can truly relax and they don't have to do all the work. Gravity plays a little bit of a part, but it doesn't it's not in that way that makes it really heavy that it gets intense. Just a gentle releasing. And then we'll take about that 2 to 8 breath here. We're getting close to being done with the wall, so just stay with your breath, stay with what you feel. When you are complete on this side, we'll straighten that leg, and when you're ready, we'll just go into the opposite side. And it might take a moment. We're not holding these poses quite as long because we're spinning this whole time with our legs up the wall, and so we just want to just have a gentle opening, a gentle release, and just connect with our body in a different way. And then even notice how your upper body feels, just lying flat on the earth. Lots of times as we lay flat on our body, that there's a lot of pressure to our low back, but because our legs are being supported in a different way, with legs up the wall. So when you are complete with your 2 to 8 breath, we'll straighten that leg. And you might need to start to give your feet a little wiggle. Just one more. This one I feel is the most awkward one, but we do like our yoga awkward. And so the next posture we'll set up for will be hugging our knees in towards our chest. So just bend your knees and allow your feet to just be on the floor as close as it feels breathable. You can keep your hands on the floor. It might feel nice to wrap your arms around your legs, your choice. But slow your breath down. There's a lot of compression here because our legs don't really have room. You might need to keep your knees a little bit wider than right together so that you can still feel like you can breathe. And just feel the sensations on your back body connected to the earth. So the next pose is, I'll let you know where we're going, and then you can choose if you want to stay at the wall or if you want to take a break from the wall and then move into that pose. So we'll take a few more breaths here with our knees hugged in. And then from here, we will start to make our way into a twist. So if you feel comfortable at the wall, you can keep your knees bent, you can open your arms like a T, and you can allow the wall to support your twist. If you would rather not twist at the wall, then roll onto your side body, take a few breaths on your side body, and then allow yourself to move onto your mat and find a twist that honors you. So there's a couple options if you stay at the wall. You might keep your knees bent, you might let your legs slide down the wall. But we're just held and supported in a different way here. And so if your knees are bent and it feels like it's too much, then you could place this bolster under your knees and so they don't go all the way to the floor, and that might feel more honoring. And again, notice what it feels like. We're here, we're held and supported by the wall, the floor, the earth, and all we need to do is just breathe. And then on this side of our twist, we'll take about 2 to 8 breaths here. Again, whatever feels honoring. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center, and then you can make your way to the second side. Take the time that you need to connect with your body, to connect with your breath. Allow your movements to be through the strength of your core. Each side is different, so take your time. Honor and love the uniqueness of each side. If you use those props, take the time you need to set yourself up for comfort. And then breathe. This is the end of my music, so I'll find more so nobody has to sing. Even though I prefer singing. And then notice this connection to your breath, the different areas you might have created sensation. And then we'll take about 2 to 8 breaths here. When your 2 to 8 breath are complete, we'll just come back to center for a moment. And you might keep your knees bent, you might straighten your legs. Just take a moment and we'll just connect. Now, if you're on the floor, that's fine. You can just pause. If you're still with your legs up the wall, we'll just make our way onto our side body and just roll whatever side you want and roll all the way onto your side body. You might use your hands to support your head and just find a position comfortable. And so we've been with our legs up the wall for a really long time. We just want to lay in this position where our blood can just come back to this natural flow, to come back to our feet. And then we'll just slowly stay with our breath. We can push ourselves up out of our posture, and we'll start to readjust ourselves for Shavasana. Now, if you need a little bit of movement, take your time, stay with your breath. You might feel quite dizzy. You might go right into Shavasana. You might hug your knees in. You might windshield wiper your knees. You might need a little seated twist. But we'll set up for Shavasana with this bolster under our knees to support and honor our low back. And then take your feet nice and wide once you have that prop. And then we'll make our way onto our back body. Sorry, I forgot about the heat. It's kind of chilly. Check it off for the last few moments so we don't get chillier. And then take that time in this moment as we set up for Shavasana to reconnect with that neutral spine we began with at the beginning. So really focus on your shoulders soften down your back, your shoulder blades relax down your back, holding that heart space. Slightly tuck your chin, your hands are at your sides, palms up, and in a position that really feels comfortable for your shoulders. And then let's just take a beautiful breath in. Just fill your body as you breathe in. And then just sigh it out. And take about 1 or 2 more breaths, just letting it go. And then from there, release control of your breath. And allow your breath to just settle into this natural ebb and flow. And let it become silent. Allow your body to just be held. Notice what you feel. We've spent almost this entire practice creating this natural, neutral spine. Just feel your shoulders soften and connect to the earth with gravity. Your chest is open. And then just feel yourself soften and surrender. You are safe, held and supported by the earth below. Just let go. Live with unsolved problems. Sometimes we need to live for a while with a particular behavior, problem, or situation before we're ready to change it. Sometimes we have to live with it so long, conscious that it's a problem, but unable yet to solve or change it, that we can hardly bear it. We're fully aware that we want and need something different. The answer has not yet arrived. We worry that the situation will continue eternally and the problem will never be solved. During those times of living with the problem and the desire to solve it, we may long for the old days, those days when our denial system was intact and we didn't know what we were doing. If you can't solve it yet, if you can't change it yet, it's okay to live with it just as it is. Something is happening. The situation is changing. You're on your way to change. If it feels good, roll your head from side to side, your ankles, your wrists. And then extend your arms overhead and just give yourself a beautiful stretch. Deepen your breath. And today, let's roll onto the opposite side we normally would, the awkward way. And just take a moment here lying on your side body. Notice how it feels. It might feel good. It might feel less comfortable. So just allow yourself to just soften into this moment. And then gently press yourself up to a seated posture. Sit however it's comfortable, and it might be on a bolster or on the floor. It might be cross-legged, might not be. Take your time to feel yourself envision that you are sitting with your back against the wall. That long spine, your chin is just slightly tucked. You feel the crown of your head just reach to the sky, this lengthening, this opening through our chest in a way that you feel comfortable. There's no gripping, there's no tension in order to hold it. And take a deep, beautiful breath. It might even feel simpler to breathe with that long spine. Trust that the waiting part of change is necessary. Trust that your desire for change is the beginning of change. Trust that each moment you are moving closer to the change you desire. Hands come together, heart center. Smile. Namaste. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have a lovely day. There's cleaners in here that you can use on the props if you just want to spray them and put them back neatly. Thank you. Thanks, Holly. You're welcome. How did that feel? How did that